Greetings and salutations. My name is Colin Moriarty. I'm editor of IGN PlayStation. I'm here with the lovely, the beautiful, the talented, and the adorable Andrew Goldfarb. He's our news editor.
High praise.
on
Thank
IGN.
you. Hey,
All those things are true in equal measure, Andrew.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate you joining me on this PlayStation conversation. Now, we're here to talk a little bit about a game that I don't hold too close to my heart, but that I'm very interested in because the saga surrounding it has been so
insane.
interesting. And that game is Final Fantasy X HD. Now, we learned about Final Fantasy X HD at Tokyo Game Show in 2011, and since then we had seen basically nothing until a few weeks ago during PlayStation Vita Heaven in Tokyo,
where we
Japan.
Still saw basically nothing.
Yeah, where they showed basically a character on a Vita running, so who knows if that,
If that's even real, exactly.
But Goldfarb, some interesting news about Final Fantasy X HD broke today. Tell me a little bit about what happened.
So a report came out of Shonen Jump magazine, which is a big magazine in Japan, that Final Fantasy X HD will include 10-2, because like Final Fantasy 13-2, that was the first time Square did a direct sequel to one of its games. So on PS3, on the disc, on one disc, you'll get Final Fantasy X HD and Final Fantasy X-2. On Vita, 10 and 10-2 will be available separately.
Okay.
And that was it. Other than that, it said it will be the international versions of those games. Okay. Which I'm guessing is just probably content differences, and that it's still aiming for 2013.
Okay, yeah, so there's a few strange things about this that strike me.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy X on PS3 and Vita are supposed to be cross-save and cross-play, right? But this indicates that they're not cross-buy, which is the first interesting thing. Now, that we don't really know that for sure. We've reached out to Square Enix for clarification on this.
On all of this, yeah.
But that indicates that the games aren't necessarily cross-buy. Final Fantasy X-2 being available makes a little more sense. Maybe this is why the game was delayed, because they're up-resing this as well. But I have a question about that as well. Is this just a voucher code for PlayStation 2? You say it's on the disc, so it must be an HD version of the game. Therefore, it has trophies and it's up-res and all those things. We have so many questions about X-2 that we just don't know the answer to yet.
Right, and that's what's so weird, right? They've never talked about X-2 before this moment. We don't know if it's an HD remake of it. As you say, we don't know if it's just going to be a PS2 thing. Like, I mean, it makes no sense to not just announce this formally. Like, Square Enix, once again, especially surrounding Final Fantasy, manages to make everything 1,000 times more confusing than it has to be.
Please be excited for E3.
Yeah, exactly.
Please be excited for E3 this year.
All right, so it's just like these little morsels of information come out about Final Fantasy X HD, because I know a lot of people out there are excited about it. I am.
I'm excited about it.
I'd love to have played on Vita. Now, the cross-save situation is now a little nebulous. The cross-buy situation is totally up in the air.
Yep.
But the 2013 release date I find interesting as well. That means they have 8 months or so to get the game out, at least in Japan.
Yeah.
Did they indicate if that's a worldwide release or if that's only in Japan?
I mean, I would guess only Japan. I mean, they normally staggered those. So, I mean, they did not indicate that, or at least in the translation we read. But yeah, I would have to assume it would be only Japan.
Okay, so here's my guess, Goldfarb. We see Final Fantasy X HD, maybe even get hands-on with it at E3, and maybe we get a release date at that point, probably at the Sony press conference. I would like to see it come out this year. Vita needs something. Vita needs games.
Yes.
I did put up a story yesterday, by the way, for all you Vita fans out there, with a bunch of release dates rumored from GameStop's computers. A source got us that stuff, Dragon's Crown in August, and Muramasa in June, and Valhalla Knights 3 in the fall, and the new Ys game will come out in the fall
And on top of that, we've got Soul Sacrifice, Killzone, Tearaway. Like, there are games coming to Vita. It's just like, none of them are really, all those might be amazing. They might be fantastic games, but none of them are really that like big blockbuster title that's going to pull people in. Final Fantasy could be. Final Fantasy is such a name, and it's not even like 13. It's not even like the new era of Square. Like 10 is still, part of the PS2 era, when I think they were a little more beloved than they are now. So like I think it could really attract people, especially in Japan. So they need it. Like that game needs to be out pretty soon.
Absolutely.
And it's been 2 years, so there's no reason why it can't be.
Absolutely. Bundle it with a Vita. Right. Have a little cross-buy, cross-save, whatever going on, and I think that, cross this, cross that,
crisscross, yeah.
And I think we'll be all set. Well, Andrew, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy. I'm going to get back to work as well. But for all things PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, and PlayStation 4, you can keep it tuned to IGN.